And, of course, you got the Underground Garage going. We got that here every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. Anything coming up on that, within the next few weeks that's really special that people don't want to? Not that we want to miss it any Sunday night, but, you want to, maybe there's one that you say, like, okay, if something's coming up, you got to hear this one.
Oh, we do have some fun things. Let me think of where we are, because, I've been traveling. So we do a few shows ahead of time.
Well, is there something coming up with Tarantino? I think I was...
Sometime in the next month or so, we'll probably celebrate his new movie. He's got a new movie, Inglourious Basterds. Right. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a trip.
I haven't seen it yet, no, but I want to. It's on my list.
It's interesting, I'll tell you. So yeah, there'll be that. I think we have another thing in our songwriters series. We got like a 4-part songwriters series where we feature the greatest songwriters in the world, who tend to be, behind the scenes. Not the songwriters that actually make their own records like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones, but Bob Dylan. But more of the guys are a little bit more behind the scene, and the brill building people with all the great girl groups and things like that.
Right.
And,
yep.
So we got a lot of surprises coming. Some good things, and it's still my pride and joy. We're doing really great with it. We're almost in every country in Europe now.
Now, what new bands? Who are you into at the moment, or do you got some favorites on the newer bands?
Well,
your personal
we find something every week, and I'm trying to think. Sometimes it's brand new bands. We have a great group we're playing called the Tinted Windows, which is a bit of a, I don't know if you call it
a super group. Yeah,
yeah,
an
indie super group, with Bunny Carlos from Cheap Trick and James Iha from Smashing Pumpkins, and they really have a terrific power pop album that I would recommend to anybody. We must have added 5 or 6 songs from it. I'm
going to have to check that one out. I've been tempted a couple times, and I listen to so much music, and I get some of the ideas from, I'll hear a song or something on your Underground Garage, and then I'll be like, geez, I got to hear the rest of that. I think my favorite new one personally right now is Kings of Leon. I love them. I love their music. I've been, I think I was the first one to play it on the air around here. I came in probably about 3-4 years ago, and all of a sudden I do a Friday afternoon show where I don't know if it's like your Underground Garage or what, but I just play anything I feel like playing on a Friday afternoon. I call it the happy hour, and I try to turn people on to some new stuff. And I've been playing Kings of Leon now since their first album. And matter of fact, one of the other jocks here one day coming in, he goes, Vito, you do know music because you've been playing them and now for a couple of years already, and now they're in the mainstream. Everybody's listening to them. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. They really have broken through. We're still quite proud of the new Cocktail Slippers album. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got to get that. That's the guy. First of all, I got to give you a disclaimer because I actually came out of retirement, and it's the first thing I produced in 15 years. And but the girl is an all-girl group from Norway, and just terrific. They wrote most of it, and they play it and they sing it, and they're just great. The Cocktail Slippers. The album's called St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And there's a great new record coming from the Len Price Tree out of England, and we find something every week, and sometimes it's an older group putting out new albums. I mean, Cheap Trick actually just put out a new album.
Yeah.
The New York Dolls put out another new album. So it's a mixture of, sometimes older groups still together that don't get the airplay they deserve. I mean, Cheap Trick's, the new one is just out, but the one before this is absolutely one of their best albums ever. And people tend to forget that these groups are still around, and Cheap Trick, of course, with all the original members still. So,
yeah. I played in a golf tournament with those guys, as a matter of fact, a few years back. They're a good bunch of guys, and
Great guys.
Got
great
a lot
guys.
of great music.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just like, I don't know, it's funny, radio is funny these days. I mean, you of course are an exception to the rule, but sometimes good things are being ignored that are in other ways staples of classic rock radio. I mean, Joan Jett's latest album, it's been out now a couple of years, but it's just terrific stuff. I mean, as good as she's ever done. And people just tend to ignore those things a little bit, and that's not right. It's really a shame because they're denying their audiences some great music from people that they know.
Exactly. Well, that's why I think you've got the Underground Garage, and I try to do what I can with my happy hour, where I play some different things for people, and there's just so much good music, and to just keep hearing the same, like you're talking about Cheap Trick, to just keep playing I Want You to Want Me 100 million times over again, and which is a good song, and it's nice to hear, but they've got so much more for people to enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
And even you folks with Bruce and you and the music you guys got, there's so many album cuts that are great that just don't get airplay, and that, God, when I was back in the 69, when I was a teenager and in high school and that, and FM radio was playing, cuts that you just didn't hear anywhere else. And it was such a fantastic time. And I think that's a little bit of what your Underground Garage brings back to people, to tune in and to get to hear some stuff that you just normally wouldn't hear on the radio.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's exactly that. Actually making an effort to bring that back for this generation, because we took it for granted. I mean, we figured that's how radio was. Radio was there to turn us on, and that concept of radio serving its audience as a way of introducing it to cool new things just kind of went sideways somewhere along the line. I don't know why. Audiences don't run away, when they hear something new, as long as it's good.
Exactly.
And so we really made a point when we started to bring that back, that sort of, let's get a relationship with our audience. When we grew up, the audience had a relationship with their DJs and with their radio stations, and they trusted them. And so we wanted to, gain that trust, and then spend, the rest of our time turning people on to things. Sometimes, it's older things that you may have missed. Sometimes it's bringing back older things that, you haven't heard for a long time, and sometimes it's brand new stuff. We play pretty much the top 10 of the coolest new songs out there in our genre. We pretty much stick to traditional rock and roll,
right?
So we stay within certain bounds. But we are going to play you the best top 10 in the world, and then combine that, give it a context by playing the rest of the 60 years of rock and roll that are just all connecting the dots and making sure people know where things come from and how we got here, and by knowing the past and enjoying the present, it suggests that there is a future, and that's what we try and do with the show. And by the way, Vito, I should mention that you guys were one of our first stations. You were one of our we have the sacred 22, okay, the first 22 stations that went on the show. We just celebrated our 7th anniversary. And you guys are one of the first ones to go on the show, and I thank you for that. We are now in over 200 markets in America alone.
Fantastic.
Okay? Yep, absolutely. I thank you for that, and thank everybody up there. It's proud. I'm honored to be part of your DJ family.
Well, thank you. We're proud to have you, and we're going to see you tonight up at SPAC. Rock and roll, brother.
Well, absolutely, baby. We got no choice, do we?
Not at all.
It's too late to change now.
Exactly. Hey, always a pleasure, and thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
My pleasure, absolutely. Anytime.